Why I got to go down for you?
I don't know. Oh, but back to what we were saying. But wait, my nose had did something. It ain't in my nothing in my nose, is it? Because I don't want to be on here laughing. Like, ooh, she had a booger the whole time. That happened. I'll tell y'all about that story in a minute.
And her company didn't say nothing. She wrong.
But yeah, hold that thought because I remember something. But hold that thought. But this is my friend Cherie. Cherie and I are from the Ferg. If you know, you know. Hey. So we've been friends. How long have we been friends?
Child is Christopher.
All right. Everybody got to go by hard as Bubba. That's how long we've been. So he about to be 22.
Yeah.
He was in the months.
Yeah.
He was in the months when I met your mom.
Yep.
Yeah, she was in the months. And so that's a long time. He about to be 22, girl.
That's scary.
That good Bubba about to be 22. Ain't that crazy?
I can't believe it.
I know. So, my story about when we just was laughing about the booger. So, my friend Lisa, husband, and shout out to husband's funeral home. Oh. Yeah, that's where, when you die, that's where you should go. Tell your people. They do very good work. And you know, it's so professional. You know, it's very professional. Her husband worked at, what is that? Is it Swanson's? Coles? I think he did a little bit of both. Okay. Like along the way. Yeah. So, you know, that prepared him. Yeah, very nice. Prepared him to do, you know, what he's doing now. And so he has a very nice funeral home. And it's a little far in Livonia, or it's in Westland. But, he buried, you know, he did my mom's service. So anybody who's at my mom's service, you know, it's beautiful. Yeah. It was
she was.
Well, now, let me say this. She was beautiful.
She was.
But Jessica, I don't know if I told too many people this, because it's kind of weird. But Jessica did her makeup and hair.
Oh, my face.
Girl.
My
But so my daughter did my mom's makeup and hair for her funeral. Wow. Yep, so she looked really pretty.
That takes a lot.
I know.
I don't think I could do that.
Girl, let me tell you what she did though. And I'm mad at my business at my job. I'm already distraught, like, okay, this lady is dead. You know, it's just weird, you know, when your mom dies, it's just like, really what was weird is you're next. That's what people don't realize. You done stepped up. You just kind of, you up the chain now. You know, and Lord forbid when your aunties and all them die, that just kick your ass right to the front of the line. Yeah. Bitch, you're like, hello, it's your turn. It's your turn. So yeah, you're right there with it. So that's where we are. So I was at work, right? So when she was doing my mom's makeup and stuff, girl, I'm mad at my business. And me and my kids FaceTime. My kids and I, for the people who want to judge, because I'm an educator. But I'm off work. So me and my kids, when we FaceTime,
y'all please don't get us started tonight, please.
Don't get me started. So she FaceTime, and I'm like, at work. Once again, if you don't know, I'm a school teacher. So I'm working. So I answered the FaceTime. I'm like, girl, what did she want? She FaceTime me. Girl, did she FaceTime me? And I opened it up. It was my mama. Oh, my God. Beyond the grave. So, girl, I'm like, what are you doing? So here she go. How's it looking? Girl, I don't care. I don't want to see that. Girl, the lady dead, all in the camera. And I'm just like, the woman died, and you answer your FaceTime.
And that's what you see.
A week later, and it's your mama, you know, with the
muffin. What were you thinking?
I don't know what she was thinking. I don't know what she was thinking. These kids are totally built for something different. They built for something. Ain't no way in hell I could have. I ain't even think, like, anybody in my family, and you know, we know how to do some hair. We know how to do some makeup. Now, am I as good as my niece Tierra Williams? Shout out to Dials, Dims. Dims. What's it called?
I don't know.
I gotta look it up. Well, very nice.
She'll get back to y'all on that.
Yeah, she will. I will. And she just won the Detroit, Jesus, the Detroit when they had the award show for the Detroit.
Oh, okay.
So Mary's niece, which is my niece too. So yeah, okay. So she just won. For that, she came in first place, and also shout out to Jalen the realtor. He got first place too. You know, that was London's prom day. Remember London with the prom with him? But so that I can't find it because I'm hot. I'll get back to y'all on that. But she's very good at here it is. Yeah, I had it right. Dolled, Dolled by Dimps, Dimps. I think it's two S's on here. But anyway, yeah, for Tiara, it was two S's. Yeah, Dimps. And for Tiara, she's very good, girl. Yeah, and she won. And it was so cute because I was watching her live, and it was like a real award show. Oh, like people had on gowns and stuff like that. It was really the air. But anyway, so Jessica put this dead body on the thing. So I'm in class teaching. I'm like, girl, what are you doing? So she was like, how's it looking? Dead. I don't know. Get this off.
I don't think you can do that.
I don't think you should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't.
That could really, like, say somebody had a bad heart. That would shock the shit out of them. Like, you might go into cardiac arrest.
Right. Now, what if I was one of them people who just couldn't handle it, you know?
And you was at work.
Right.
You was
trying to teach these kids. Right, that's when I was teaching third grade at Emerson. Like, yeah, so that was very strange. It was very strange. And, yeah. So, the moral of the story is, when you doing dead person makeup, don't FaceTime in with the dead person. I don't know. That's all I have.
Yeah, don't do it.
So let me go back to the other story that I was getting ready to tell y'all. So when we was with the Rams, it was this man that liked Lisa. You know Lisa.
Okay.
But she didn't like him.
Of course.
She did not like him. And he was, it was a little, he would wear, I'm not even going to get him into it, but she didn't like him. So anyway, one day he thought he was, he came over there leaning all, because we were sitting in the stage, he came over there leaning all on the gate. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? And so she like, oh my God, Chris, she's her Canada accent. Oh my God, Chris, like, what does he want? I'm like, girl, I don't know. So I looked, I'm like, dang, he got a big, but keep in mind, he ain't speak to me. Now, I don't care. I don't care if you want me. I don't want you. It don't matter. But, you just speak to people. It's me and her sitting there. He like, hey, so since you didn't speak to me, I ain't about to tell you that you got a big, gigantic booger hanging out of your nose. Since you ain't speak. You should have better manners. You should have better manners than that. And
you walked up to two women.
Yeah. We sitting in the stands talking, drinking, minding our business. And he leaning all on the gate. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? So he didn't say nothing. He stood there and tried and was talking to us for about 7 minutes, which felt like 30.
Wow.
So because the whole time I'm looking, I'm like, and it wasn't your average booger, the kind that maybe you just be, you have point to somebody, right? You be like, just make, for connected with a little tissue.
Right.
Girl, he had a full blown. It looked like he just blew his nose with no tissue and let go and let God. And then try to sniff around and maybe he did a little, I don't know. But the booger was so big that I was just like, how was he talking? Like, you don't feel that? You don't feel that booger. Like, you just, there's no way you could, I couldn't either.
I cannot.
And I couldn't either.
I cannot.
And I didn't want to. And I didn't. And so I just was looking at him. I'm like, and he's steady talking. Right? Okay, well, you ain't speak, so I'm not going to tell you about your booger. Okay? And it's hundreds of people out here. I ain't telling you nothing. They're all because you didn't speak.
I don't think he cared.
Well, now it gets to the caring part.
Oh, God.
There's a part where there may have been some caring. Let me tell you what happened. So he walked off because, of course, she wasn't giving him no play. He was like, all right, kid, all right, kid. He went over and started talking to his dad, and it was somebody else they had with him. Girl.
They told him. If you don't stop it,
he came walking back. Girl was like Miss Sophia.
You told Harpo
that was the walk. That was the walk. He had that finger. He was like, why you ain't tell me? Y'all ain't said shit. You got me walking around. So his daddy told him when he went down there, like, you was down there talking to them two ladies, that big booger, you know. And look, and I'm like this. Go, Christopher! You know, I'm not watching these. It's a whole football game going on. You didn't speak to me, so I don't care. Watching the game. Girl, and she could not do. And he went off on her like she stole something. And I
because he had a booger?
So his thing was, why you didn't tell me? He was like, you let me stand here and talk to you. I said, don't look over here.
I didn't.
Cause guess what? You ain't say nothing to me. Yeah, you ain't say nothing to me.
No.
Yeah, but I did say to her, like, when he walked off the first time, I was like, you weren't gonna tell him about that young booger? Because my thing was, how'd you have a conversation with him that long with that young booger? The booger was having a conversation too.
She did entertain the conversation.
Yeah, he stood there for about 7 minutes talking,
going back and forth.
Yeah, it was a dialogue. I mean, mostly on her end, get gone, but there was a dialogue, and he had a new booger. That was right. That nigga was listen. He had a new booger.
God.
That was right there. That was tapping in. I said, "Girl, how are you even talking to him with that booger?" Because I ain't saying nothing to him. Because once, like I said, once he ain't speak, I ain't got nothing for you. There's that. I mean, it is what it is. And again, if you're just tuning in, we are here live with Night School. Hello, with Chris and company. And my company is my longtime friend, Cherie. That's her over there. Who do you, Cherie? And we are streaming live on Facebook and on Instagram. We were on Twitter. I don't know what's going on with that. I think it's X or something. I don't know. I don't understand the whole Twitter thing, but whatever. And other stations that stream live. And we are here live at Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station around. Yes, we are. So, let's get off the booger. But it was disgusting. He cussed her out. He walked and he never spoke to us again. First of all, I ain't care. You didn't speak to me anyway.
Yay.
But it was really, exactly. So we were on the fear. Yeah, right, really. Thank you, booger. But but now when I think about that, and I was like, with the booger, he was built like Bookman. And we did start calling him Booger. But not for that reason, because he had the booger.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty.
Wow.
It just wasn't cute. So anyway, y'all, I'm not sure if y'all heard about, and see, I can't pull it up on, I'll just pull it up on here. I don't know if y'all heard about, so there is a teacher, not me, who was drunk on the job.
Oh.
Nah.
Look at my side eye.
Oh man, and I ain't got my. I had left my bag. I had left my bag at home, and it had all my notes in there. So now I gotta go back to the thing. So anyway, so there's this lady, y'all, who is drunk.
Wow.
So, but what got me is, so she was drunk. She was drunk on the job, as hard as she could be. So, in Oklahoma, oh God, her name was Miss Coates, Coates, and she taught third grade.
Oh,
she taught third grade. So Miss Coates, was drunk.
Wow.
But and it just reminded me of it's all about how you do stuff and say stuff. So they did give her a chance to like come clean, or so they put her in the office and they were like, Miss Coates, girl,
you been drinking?
Yeah, you been drinking or something. They put her in there. Was like, you been taking any medication? So she was like, well, my anxiety. So they was like, did you take it last night? Took it this morning? She was like, I took it last night and this morning. Girl, first of all, no, you didn't, because you're still standing. No, you did not. You did not take no. I'm just gonna say Xanax last night and again this morning. No, you didn't.
Yeah, not if you're
no, you
still
didn't.
Upright.
No, you did not. So she was Caucasian. The whole staff was Caucasian. So they pulled her in. She's sitting down. So I'm assuming like one was the principal, one was this. I don't know, but it was somebody in charge. Okay.
Okay.
So she sits down, and she's like, so they're asking her a question. They're being really nice. The other lady, she was like, I'm really concerned about you. She was like, and then the other, which I'm assuming was the principal, he was like, the conversation when I talked to you this morning was different from the one this afternoon. He was like, there's something different, and I'm really concerned. Girl, she was like, what? I'm good. I had Xanax or whatever. I took my med last night this morning. She's like, I'm good. This is what she was like.
Not the falling down sloppy drunk, because that's
like,
falling down drunk.
Yeah, like at the
basically.
table.
Yeah,
she
that's
like
falling down.
So,
wow.
But they still like, girl, we care about you. We love you.
Right.
Now, that's what let me know. I'm veering off a little bit. That's what let me know that this is a public school. Because in public schools, you got the union, you got people to back you, you got to, there's a plan with public schools. They find you drunk on the job, okay, you got a problem, you go here, you get to take care of. So, it was a lot of caring. At a charter school,
yeah, because
they're walking your ass out to the car that day. They don't care about none of that.
I had a drunk teacher.
Oh, girl, tell me about the drunk teacher.
In 8th grade. Girl, we used to clown her every day. Like,
what was she doing?
Girl, she was okay, class. Today we doing. You nodding off. You stumbling to your storage room.
Walking hard.
Girl.
What grade was this?
8th grade.
Do you still remember her? Like,
what was her name? Miss Hardy.
Ooh, Miss Hardy, girl.
Yes.
I hope you didn't got your life together.
She might not be here.
Well, not if you drinking like that.
I was in 8th grade.
Okay, well, so that don't matter.
We ain't showing
because
my age, but my age.
No, but you know what? When we were in school, we thought those people were old.
She did look rough,
right? Because she was a drunk. But that don't mean that. I saw my 5th grade teacher, Miss Anderson. Shout out to Miss Anderson from Winship Elementary. I'm quite sure she's still with us, because if not, the site would have blown up on the Winship Elementary website. Nevertheless, I saw her at the grocery store probably like 8 years ago, and she was old to me in 5th grade. I remember she had like a little piece of gray. It was real pretty. She had beautiful hair. But I don't know how, even when we were in high school at Bishop Borges, we thought they was old. Well,
teachers.
Yeah, the teacher. I'm like, these niggas old as fuck. But now being friends with them on Facebook, they're not that old.
Yeah, they did seem old.
They did seem old as hell, but really, they really weren't that much older. We were in maybe, 14, 15, 16, 17. They were in their 20s. But we thinking like, these old motherfuckers, like, old.
Miss Hardy did look old.
She was a drunk.
She was my 8th grade teacher at, Joy Middle School.
Oh, Joy. They are no longer with us.
Yes, we are. Look, we right here.
Oh, yeah. Over there.
We right here.
But I remember when they closed the school.
Girl,
that was right down. They did?
Yes.
That was right down the street when I was working at. What school was I working at that was down the street from Joy where I hated it?
I don't know.
Oh, my God. What school was that? It was right down the street. It was my first school that I worked at my first year teaching with DPS in 1998. So it was Joyce.
Oh. That's when I was in 8th grade. You might have been
Listen,
one of my teachers.
Negro, we the same age. Yo,
No,
fool.
we ain't.
Right, you're older than me. I hate you.
No, we ain't. I was
Dirty.
in 8th grade.
Dirty. Lie and see it. No, you was in the 8th grade in 1974. No, maybe 1980.
Oh, I can't.
I don't know. But the point is, so Joyce and Joy were probably like a couple of blocks apart.
Okay. It was, yeah, they were.
I remember that. That was the worst
Joy. Joy wasn't that bad.
teaching
Joyce.
experience that I have ever had in my
The kids
entire
was bad?
life. It's never, no. The kids weren't bad.
What was the problem?
Well,
DPS.
now, if you ever become an administrator, whoever you are out there, you have to have compassion and remember where you came from. You didn't just wake up and become an administrator. You got to, there's a lot of steps you got to take. But sometimes when people become an administrator, they forget they forget the steps. Maybe, you forget the fact that you were once a teacher. So during that time, it's Jessica was in the hospital.
Get your steps.
Exactly. Not just like Shh. What? Okay. So.
Come on with the story.
It was just so bad. I've been teaching for 28 years, and still to this day, that is the worst. Oh my God. It was so bad. The administration was horrible. Both of them. It was a man and it was a woman. He was terrible. 1999 at Joyce.
No compassion.
Oh, girl. So, speaking of no compassion, I was a new mom. Jessica was 2. London was an infant. And Jessica had a whole bunch of styes. Like, styes running our family is really weird. Mm-hmm. And so she had like 40 of them.
Oh, my.
So she was in Children's Hospital. Mm-hmm. So I would go at the time. I had a husband. I did have a husband one time, y'all believe it or not.
She did.
Raggedy bastard.
I can vouch for that.
I know.
And
right?
he was.
Right. And guess what? I left him because he was raggedy, and he's still raggedy.
And I can vouch for that.
And guess what? He's still on the what?
Fern.
The Fern.
Never gonna leave.
Never gonna leave. 30 years later, you still there. But listen, people.
Anyway, what are you talking about?
Mind your business, okay?
Yeah,
Nah. So, who was we talking about?
Administration and Jessica.
Oh God, it was so bad, y'all. It was so bad. So she ended up she was in the hospital for like 2 weeks.
Oh my muffin.
So I would, of course, some days I would spend the day because some days it'd be like, we're gonna operate tomorrow, and then like a couple would pop, and they'd be like, okay, we're gonna wait. They were like bursting. So she had like maybe like 38 over here, then she had like 20 over there.
Oh my
Her
God.
eyelids, she was 2. Her eyelids were like that, and then her eyes were like a little bit closed.
God.
So anybody who's ever had a
She
baby,
couldn't open them.
no, but she was just like, hey, my, hey, mammy. So anybody who had a child in the hospital at that time, I don't know what they do now, but the cribs were a cage.
Yeah, at Children's. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a cage, like. Yeah. So then she'd be holding on to the bars, jumping up and down. I'm like a wild animal.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
The hair would be flopping around. She had a bunch of hair like the germ.
Amber done been in the cage.
Right, what?
Marcel done been in the cage.
I don't think this come out. Hold on, y'all.
Girl,
yeah, so
yes.
it's the cage.
Yeah.
So that in itself, you be like,
it's traumatizing.
damn.
You think it's traumatizing to you.
It's very.
Because you like, wait a minute.
Very much.
I didn't give birth to a fucking monkey or a zoo animal.
And that's how they spend their time holding on to the jumping.
That's all they can do.
Can't see, eyeballs out to here, but still having a good time.
Oh, my muffin.
My kids were, resilient. Okay, so, but everybody's had surgery except for London on her eye. Jessica's had surgery. Christopher had to get his styes removed in high school. Yep, he had that one big one that just went hard, and it, I had to get mine removed in high school up on under here. See, back when I got mine removed in high school, they didn't really give a damn. So they pulled my lid out. Literally, I was looking at them like, and they clamped it to my face, and they just dug that mug out. It was the worst experience another time. But, you know, Christopher, they put him under. You know, he was having a good time. Girl, he was high to death. But that was the worst. That was the worst experience. I have never been treated that bad in my entire teaching career. After I left there,
they wasn't getting mad because you was taking off work. What was going on?
So you know, I talk to people. So I always have a good relationship with my parents. So that was like a no to them. Like, you shouldn't be talking to them like that. You know, blah blah blah.
That's strange.
It was one of those. It was one of those people who thought that we were so much better than the community that we worked in. But you know me, I'm like, hey girl, you know hey.
I'm not from here.
Exactly, I am.
Yeah.
So, but you know they wear their suits.
I'm black, but not really.
Right. I mean, they got their suits on, they're all uptight, and you shouldn't be talking to those people. And I'm like, those are my parents. Like, what are you talking about? And then, so they were constantly calling me in the office for stuff that had nothing to do with education, because of course the kids' grades were good. I did good on mine, when they come in and see how you doing in the class. But then you just didn't like my communication skills with the parents. They didn't like that I was a little bit I use the word popular, on the popular side. They would call me in the office for every little thing. Everybody's mom. I heard so-and-so's mom say that they'll call you and talk to you later. Why are you talking to the parents after school hours? Because I'm working, for one.
So I can't have a conversation.
Yeah, I'm not about to do that. Now. We'll talk about it later on when I get home. There's no, what is the big deal? Why is it bothering you?
It's not like I'm billing y'all for those hours.
Okay.
What the hell?
Okay.
Come on now, you're not paying me. What I do on my personal time.
Girl, you better preach.
It's my personal time.
That's exactly what I told him. So he was like, it's unprofessional. You do your job the way you do your job, and I do my job the way. Since I've been teaching, I've had the same phone number. All the kids have my phone number. The parents still have my phone number.
I can vouch for that.
Right. I get a kid.
They still call her. They graduated, got 5 kids. Yeah. Miss Richardson, girl, what you doing?
Exactly. Exactly. So, this so-and-so, remember I was in your first grade class, my mama got your number. Yeah. Hey, it's the same. Yeah. So I've always been like a teacher that's like very personable. I care not just what go on in your life between 7:30 and 2:40.
Right.
I care about the whole child. Oh, yeah. So how the hell you gonna get mad at me for that? When I say I was so, I'm gonna tell y'all what I did. I don't care. You can judge. Put your judging shoes on. So it was the last day of school. Right. So it was the last day of school. I had already took a job at Marcus Garvey, so I wasn't coming back there anyway.
This gets interesting.
I wasn't coming back there to Joyce.
Let me sit up.
Right. I wasn't coming there at all. I wasn't coming back here. It wasn't even a chance. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is Night School with Chris and Company. And my company is my long-time friend, Sheree. Raise your hand, girl.
Hey! I know I'm short and they really can't see me over the microphone.
Over the microphone. Girl. And we are live here at Wjzz Cool Tv, the coolest radio station around. But I hated that school. So, I was like, I'm cleaning up my room. I'm like, I ain't coming back here, praise the Lord. I'm going over to Marcus Garvey. Miss Sheffield, had told me, girl, come over here. You'll love it. Good. Went to principal, had my interview. Come on over here. All right, go. Mm-hmm. Called downtown. Went down, did the paperwork. Fine.
Boom.
Girl, I'm cleaning my room out. It ain't even no kids in the building. Most people have been gone cleaning their room out, whatever. I'm still there cleaning my room. They call my name over the PA like I'm. First of all, like the office right there, like,
and it's probably 3 teachers in the whole building.
Literally like you want to stand in the hall and be like, "Hey, Rich," you know,
and I would hurt you.
But no, you wanted to be all. Christina Richardson to the office, please. Christina Richardson to the office. What? But okay. Hey, why are you calling me? I'm 28. What you calling me to the office for like that?
Don't summon me.
The nerve. So I goes down there. It's the principal and the assistant principal. They sitting in there. It's like, have a seat. I'm like, I don't need to have a seat. Oh, bitch, I'm packing my stuff. What do you want?
Exactly. This is my last
what do you
day.
want?
Literally.
Like literally.
My last day.
I had taken everything to my car. I had been going back and forth. And I'm like, what? Well, we noticed that one of the manuals for social studies is missing. I told you I did not have that manual. I requested it several times. I told you I didn't have it.
Right.
He was like, so how did you teach the class? Used my common sense, looked at the chapter and the questions, and took it from there. It's the social studies. It's right there. The story, what happened. I added my 2 cents and added some more, and then that was the lesson.
Boom, bam.
Yeah, who do you? This is it. We learned it. It's right there.
Right.
It's not like, I mean, whatever. It's right there. He was like, so you mean to tell me? I said, how many times? I asked you for the manual several times. He was like, so I feel like all the scores that the kids got were not true because you didn't have a manual. What the hell are you talking? Girl,
was the majority of their scores based off social studies?
Yeah, I don't understand. Girl, listen, I don't know.
I'm quite sure it wasn't.
Listen.
Like the main classes.
Nobody is not going to hire you because you don't know what went on in Jamestown in 1849.
Exactly. They mostly be looking at that ELA
and the math.
So social
and that's all that there was.
They didn't pass off of that.
No,
sorry.
No, not at all. It was ELA and math. Like that was the main. I'm just like, but we still learn. It's right there. Right. There's no black. I mean, social is black. It's right there. Right. It happened in 1849. Period. There's no, you got to do a whole bunch of thinking to try. Well, anyway, girl. Next thing I know, I took my arm. First of all, I was like, after I said a couple of times nicely, I've asked you for the manual a couple of times,
and you wouldn't give it.
But you didn't give it to me. So, I mean, but they still did a good job. Blah, blah, blah. Girl.
Right.
He went nuts. He was like, you can't sit up that. Girl, next thing I took my whole arm and knocked everything off that desk. When I say everything, he had like bookends, a book. I tore that office up.
Ooh.
When I say I tore that office up, I tore it up.
As you should have.
As I should. Probably not. Shouldn't have.
You should have.
Girl, but that's
like the attitude.
But that's how people don't understand how you go the term go postal mean.
Yeah, it was wrong, but they was asking for it.
I don't even feel wrong. Like I didn't feel I because I know I didn't feel wrong because I never apologized. I ain't care. When I tell you I tore that office up, the rage, it was just so. I don't think I've been that mad. I don't know when another time I've been that angry. But when you are in charge, you have got to treat people a different kind of way.
You do. You have still got to treat people with respect.
And that's all people ask for. I don't think it does that hard.
Common decency.
That's it. Treat others how you would want to be treated.
Period.
Or how you would want to treat, because some people don't give a damn about themselves. Treat people how you would want your kids to be treated.
Or your mother.
Thank you. Mother. Yeah, go with the nana.
Because sometimes
even the granny.
Kids,
the granny. Let's go with the granny.
Yeah, because sometimes my kids,
get a little shaky.
Yeah.
I digress. But yeah, let's go with the granny. So, treat people how you would want your grandma to be treated.
Exactly.
Because I promise you, there is not going to be a good time. People snap.
He probably didn't last.
People snap. He ended up retiring like a couple of years after that.
Oh, that explains it. He was old.
But you know what's crazy? I don't think he was that old. Well, he was crotchety. He might have been a little old, but not really. But you know what's so crazy? The following year, his brother ended up passing. his brother's house caught on fire. They're on like a year apart, or maybe 2 years apart. So the brother's house caught on fire. He went over to the house, to be with the brother. He pulled up. The house just burning. Your brother like, oh my God, I can't believe it. My house burning. My house burning. Couldn't take the fact that his belongings,
the
which
brother had made it out.
Yeah, he was standing outside.
Okay.
But the fact that you had your belongings in there, you like my couch, my this, my that. Girl, he had a whole heart attack and died.
I don't know if I would have. Well,
like right there, and I said,
I would have been upset, but I would like to believe I wouldn't.
Listen, I would really low seriously, because you have got to personal belongings. You can buy all those stuff. As long as you got your life, you should be grateful for that. Yeah. So it was just him and his brother after that. I mean, so at that point it was just him. But people were, are you coming to the no? You're not gonna support it? Can you put money in this car? Absolutely not. I'm sorry. Let's keep the main thing the main thing. I'm sorry your brother passed, but you ain't about to get nothing from me.
For you, but I can't give you.
I can't give you nothing. I can't get, and that's when people be blocking their blessings. That's what that means when you treat people crazy and talk to people crazy and treat people any old kind of way.
Yeah.
You block your blessings. Yeah. I could have gave him some money, for I'm not doing none of that, because why? You treating me like trash.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you about your booger, because why?
You were trash.
You treated me like trash. You didn't even speak. So, I'm not about to do that. So there's that. And so back to the lady. Girl.
What lady? What lady?
The drunk lady.
Party.
Miss Coates.
Oh, Miss Coates. Well, how did we get off of her?
I don't know.
Because I said I had a drunk teacher. Okay, go ahead.
That's
get
true.
To Miss Coates. Come on.
That is true. You need to look that drunk teacher up and see if she's still.
I'm not.
Yeah, because y'all people don't realize how y'all be traumatizing people. Don't nobody care if you live or die.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she wasn't really a mean teacher. She was.
Well, I don't
blame her for being mean because,
Listen.
I didn't personally taunt her because, I'm such an angel. You see my halo? Don't play with me. But, yeah, there were kids that wasn't nice.
Because kids know.
And they mean as hell.
The kids.
Yeah. But let's get back to Miss Coates. Come on. Girl, my grandson called me stupid today because I popped him. Come on.
Oh, God.
And he's 3. I can't stand that one.
Kids are so mean. Oh, my God. They are the meanest creature. If you want to ever know something about yourself, ask your little niece, nephew, your grandchild. And depending on how old you are, I never forget that time I had asked Bubba.
We not.
I said,
Bubba stories to tell.
So I'm like, Bubba, is this dress too short? Going away to church. I'm like, is it too short?
And he's saying?
He said, Ma, it's not too short, but it's ugly. I said, I think he was 6. I don't even know why I asked. He liked the fashion police at the time.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah, and I was just like...
His silent treatment is what really gonna get you.
We had a friend.
Who we naming her?
We ain't gonna name her. This was back. Now let me be clear. This was back before people was doing the big chop and being cute with it.
It could have been now. It wouldn't have mattered for her. But come on.
I'll be back. Stay tuned. After the commercial, after this ad, we will continue.
We will be right back.
So we did. We had a friend. And I think at the time, how old was he? Maybe 5?
I think so.
5. Well, 5. He was 5. So we had another friend. That it used to be a trio of us, but she had kind of fell off due to circumstances that were insane.
Yeah.
But
a little out of her control.
Yeah, all the way out of our control. Listen, I'm not about to deal with that. Okay?
No.
After a certain age, it's just some stuff I'm not gonna deal with. Yeah, I don't care. We've been friends since the womb. Yeah, that was just that one. It just was too much. It was. Sometimes people are just too much, and it's okay to let them go. Some of y'all dragging people around who you know damn well you should have been dropped off at the train station.
It's called dead weights, excess baggage. Just let it go. Leave it by the curb. If you, somebody gonna pick it up.
Right, exactly. Somebody they'll find someone else, friend.
One man's trash is another man's treasure. Leave it at the curb.
I thought that just went for women that you break up with. That's for. That's
okay. Well, look.
That is true. That is. I mean, they'll find their way.
Let's go with the bubble story.
All right. Ooh, girl, my sinuses are so bad, and then y'all, I'm hot in here. Y'all know how I get. It's hot to death.
The fan is in the good.
Oh wait, my purse gave me a fan. Did I bring it?
I hope not.
Oh shit, I did.
I hate you.
Shout out to my purse, my Delta purse, who bought me this. Booyah! And it's a hootie hoo. Ow.
Well, can we get on with the story?
Sorry. So anyway, so Bubba at the time, was he was 5. So and he always had something to say, but he wasn't like mean with it.
He was one of those kids that had, as y'all like to say today, no filter. If it came up, it came out.
It was so sad.
It was just that simple.
It was embarrassing.
Very.
So embarrassing. So our third friend at the time was like, "Oh, I got my hair cut, shaved off," and so in my head I'm like, I don't know what that looks like.
Me neither.
Because she had a bunch of thick hair. It was like in a bob. So I'm like, okay, I don't know. But her hair, let's just say, it worked with me. Her hair, and I guess her body, were 2 of her assets that she worked very well.
Her body?
Well, at the time she had she had a stomach, but...
Girl, she looked like she was 7 months pregnant. Are you serious?
I said she had a stomach.
That was not working for nobody.
But it was working for all them. Them dudes was liking it.
They was.
We had to, how many times we had to go home because she was about to have company.
Girl.
And where did we go? Me and you went to my house or your house together.
Always together.
Right. So.
Couple of lonely
all the way. So I can't, she had a body to them. It wasn't bad.
Okay, let's.
So anyway, so she called us. We was on 3-way. She's like, "Oh, I cut my hair.
Come on,
blah blah blah. It's all cut." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, come with the cut." But I wasn't sure of what cut we were talking.
Me neither. I just was like,
because
okay,
again,
all right, bitch, we coming to see it.
Right. We all cool with it. So we meet at my house, and I had told my kids. Actually, I didn't even tell the girls because they didn't have that problem that my son had.
Yeah, they would just walk away.
Yeah, they don't really, hey, girl, they don't care. But my son, I told him, I said, do not, because I know how you are, don't say nothing stupid. Just, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing. Just shut your mouth.
That wasn't a good idea.
It wasn't a good idea. It backfired. Okay? So you probably shouldn't use that for your kids.
Don't do
if you don't have that term, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. This is the day I stopped that.
Quickly.
Yeah. So he was in the house. She came in. Me and this nut was like, "Oh, okay, you know."
It looks. It
was
interesting.
It was very interesting.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. So now, since you have, and I told y'all her body and the hair was
her claim to fame.
Her claim to fame. So now we just at face, because you done cut all this off. So you ain't got that good bob no more. So we cut this off, and I'm just gonna let the Lord deal with that.
Yes.
But so there. With that being said, people. With that being said, my son was like.
And that's literally how he was. Because he got her whole face. So, yeah.
So she like, Christopher,
yeah.
you not gonna say hi to me? Because he would always be like, hey, you know. She like, you ain't gonna say that. But see, this little stubborn, what he's sticking with her. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. So she talking to him, he like,
not saying nothing.
When I say this nigga was on mute.
He won that. He won that
He
challenge.
was on mute the entire time. So she like, so you acting funny? You don't want to talk to me? So now I'm cussing him out. I'm like, get your ass outside and go play, you know, because it was just embarrassing at that point.
I know something's finna come out.
Yeah, no, because now one thing that our kids did do at the time, they was obedient at that age. So when I said to him, it was so long ago, don't say nothing. You don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. He took it to a whole nother level. So now she like, I don't know why he ain't talking to me here. I go, girl, me either. Maybe he don't feel good. You know, I didn't know what.
In the meantime, I'm laughing. That's just what I do.
You just messy.
Because it was hilarious to me.
I can't believe his ear is. I'm so hot.
It was hilarious to me.
Yeah.
So I'm laughing.
Yeah, you were. You were very messy with it. And I was just like, girl, I don't know what's wrong with him. And he was like,
he didn't even want to look at her.
Yeah, no, that was another thing. I forgot about that.
He wouldn't even look at her.
He wouldn't look at her.
He was like, you not going to look at me?
You ain't talking to me? He was like this. Look, like, do it. Do what you doing.
No side eye.
Or what? It's that teddy bear or whatever that is. He'd be like, that's what it wasn't even it was bad.
It was not pretty.
It was not pretty. It was not pretty. Oh shoot! Why does this happen every week?
What happens?
The time is out and we ain't finished talking about the lady.
We didn't hear no girl back. We did not even talk about the drunk lady.
We didn't even get to the drunk lady.
Because we the drunk lady.
Well, whatever. Hey! Hey!
Oh, well. Maybe next time we'll try.
I'm so tired of trying, y'all. I don't know how this podcast, like, you know, y'all don't, you know, hot flash.
Girl, I was gonna get that.
And again, if you were tuning in, this was Chris with Night School and Company. And my
It was me. I confess, I was the company.